Now it's time to talk about how to make gold from level 40 to level 50 in Classic WoW Hardcore. By following the previous videos I've released on how to make gold up until level 40, most of you should have your level 40 mounts at level 40, and you can start farming the big golds now. Alternatively, if you don't have the mount just yet, you can use some of the methods to get you past that final stretch and get that mount. Level 40 to level 50 is actually quite an interesting level bracket for farming gold, because up until level 44, you technically never have to grind any mobs at all. You can quest all the way necessary, but in level 40 to level 50, at some point you will need to grind some mobs, as there simply is not enough quests to do in order to level up, especially if you want to level up effectively. Even if you do every dungeon possible, including every dungeon quest once, so most leveling guides, for example, including RestedXP, Cygors, and I believe even Joanna's, so I really do mean pretty much every single leveling guide, will tell you to grind mobs either from 43 to 47, or 44 to 48. By combining this grinding period with a lucrative gold farm, you can also secure yourself a couple hundred gold while doing the grinding that you're already doing for experience, so it's a win-win really. With that said, let's take a look at some locations where you are combining farming for gold while also grinding experience at the same time. Now the first farm worth highlighting is the Hate Quest Nagas in Feralaz. This is where many leveling guides will also tell you to grind, so for example RestedXP and Cygors I do believe tell you to grind here, but they're actually worth grinding, because they can drop clams that then can drop golden pearls. That being said, since most leveling guides will tell you to grind here, there will be a lot of competition. Option number 2 is the one that I usually go for, is the Waste Wanderers in Tanares. It's not the pirates, but the bandits. These guys are actually quite good to farm. They drop a steady amount of raw silver, they can drop journeyman's backpacks, they drop mage weave cloth, and they can drop potions. They also drop Waste Wander water pouch, and you can hand in 5 of those through a repeatable quest, which gives you a small amount of experience, plus a goodie bag giving you food, drinks, and more potions. All of this combined means that you will get a hefty amount of healing potions and mana potions from these guys, which might actually sell for a decent amount on hardcore servers, where people want to have potions ready just in case. You also have another location in Tanares, which is killing the turtles in the northeast for turtle meat, golden pearls, and overall vendor items. This one is even better if you have skinning. Speaking of turtles and skinning, you also have this one in the hinterlands on the shore. Now these turtles are quite high level, so they are suitable for the upper part of this level bracket. On top of turtle meat, they also give turtle scales when skinned, which leather workers will need for tribal leatherworking, so you know there's going to be a pretty high demand for that item too. Sticking with the hinterlands, you can also farm for wild vines in these locations, which are used in crafting many popular crafts such as wild vine goggles and other previous items for raiding, mostly for casters. One more farm in the hinterlands while we're there is this one for thick wolf hides, which especially feral druids need for their wolf's head helm, so it's a pretty niche gold farm. Now if you have mining, you can also start making insane amounts of gold in this level bracket. This is thanks to farming Mithril, one of the mining ores that are in the highest demand and also the lowest supply, creating the perfect scenario for an item that could sell for a lot of gold. You could also either take one of the Mithril farming routes and specifically run laps and look for Mithril veins, or you can do what I personally do, check high density locations for Mithril roughly every half hour, while also doing quests or doing other farms. For the purpose of that strategy, I will show you guys my 2 personal favorite high density spawn locations for Mithril right here, one of which is in the hinterlands in the most famous Ghost Mushroom Cave, and you also have the other one, which are the underground hives in Tanares, which are also definitely worth checking. Now because we're moving past level 40 now and into level 50, this is also the level bracket where you will start accumulating more gold than you currently need. Now, and you will also have what I personally refer to as leftover gold. This is where you need to start buying items that can go up in price later down the line, like for example a few weeks or a few months, just to make some very easy gold. Personally, I've seen items go up in price more than 10 times over during the time span of a month in Classic WoW, which is because of how inflation works. More players get to level 60, people get access to more gold, items that are in demand goes up in price. So let's say you have for example 500 gold left over. Now by not investing, logging out and logging back in 2 months, you will have 500 gold. But if you invest into items that go up in price 10 times, you can invest in those items, log back in 2 months, and suddenly you have 5,000 gold from your 500 gold, effectively giving you 4,500 gold for free in pure profit. Now, since Classic WoW is a fairly solved game, having run through this game multiple times, counting only official Blizzard servers, we've had Original Vanilla, Classic WoW, Season of Mastery, and now Hardcore. So this is our 4th Vanilla WoW launch. You also have numerous private servers, so we know what's popular, at which times, and which consumables are used in which raids, plus for Hardcore, any item related to your character's survival will be in even higher demand. For the purpose of giving you some easy investments, I usually put all of my leftover gold into small flame sacks and elemental fires, but if you want a list of all of my investments, which have given me tens of thousands of gold in Classic WoW, you can check out my Classic Hardcore gold making guide through the link in the video description. This is currently a 134 pages long gold making document, specifically designed towards the official Hardcore servers, covering gold farms, investments, professions, and more. Now, this is also the level bracket where professions start really skyrocketing in terms of profitability, so let's speak about that for a second. Now, I already covered mining, but I only really gave you 2 optional high density locations to check for, so here are 2 mining routes as well, specifically aimed at farming Mithril and True Silver. This is also the This is also the level bracket where you can start pulling in decent amounts of gold through herbalism, specifically through ghost mushrooms and firebloom, and I will show you my favorite routes right here. I usually farm firebloom in Tanaris and Searing Gorge, just running around the zone. Ghost mushrooms can be found in the hinterlands in the cave, X marks the spot, and you need 245 skill to pick it up. It is also worth noting doing the entire lap around the zone, and then check the cave like every single lap. Big plus if you have mining as well, as there can spawn up to 4 mithril veins inside that cave, plus 3 ghost mushrooms. If you have both herbalism and mining on the same character, I would also recommend using the add-on called Switcher Tracking, which will switch between which materials you're tracking every 2 seconds on an automated basis, which makes it feel like you're tracking both herbs and mining veins at the same time. Now, if you kept your fishing skill up to date, you can fish at the shore of Tanaris for both stone scale eel and firefin snappers, both of which are used in crafting endgame consumables used for level 60 raiding. It's not really useful for making gold while leveling, as you get no experience from fishing, but if you desperately need gold and you don't mind sacrificing that experience per hour, fishing can give you some good amounts of gold. And that's pretty much what I have for you in this part of the video series. I'll see you in the next part, which covers the final stretch to level 60.